Hey you guys, it's your girl Jay, and I wanted to get in the way of coming to you guys doing this video for you. I haven't been here in a while, as I've been having some personal challenges, with a whole lot of. But this video is a response video dedicated to you, April. I will try to at you as it relates to how pretty do you have to be to get paid. I'm gonna try my best to jump right in here, you guys. I probably need to take care of these notifications that are coming through, but in fact, let me do that. Let me put my do not disturb on while I'm recording this. Do not disturb. Where is it? Okay, done. Do not disturb. So let's get into it, you guys. How pretty do you have to be to get paid? I would go as far as to say the real question, as webcam models, mind you, that we ought to be asking is not so much how pretty, but how different, how unique, how different you are, how strangely looking you are, bizarre, exotic, right? That you look as it relates to being a webcam model. One thing that I've discovered along my journey, been in here again going on 16. Now, if you guys see me looking around, I'm just looking at my interface and seeing how things look. If I look brighter or the lighting looks lighter, it's because I have chosen to use mine. You guys can see this in the screen recording, my lighter version. In fact, let me go over here and show you the difference right quick, and then we'll get into it. Because I'm trying to see if, because again, remember y'all, I get chronic migraines. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm not over here squinting and I got trouble on my hands coming up. So let me see if I could change the settings while we're here. Let's go over here, and mind you, I'm coming from StreamMate. This is StreamMate's interface for those that don't know, but I like using their interface to chit chat with you guys and give it behind the scenes as it relates to tips. Majority of my videos will usually come from a screen recording behind the scenes with StreamMate. Okay, so let's go here, and I like their interface for this reason. But let me find it. Let me find my chat settings. I think it's under stream settings, and what I'm trying to do is change my preferences. Okay, we're gonna change my light theme. Okay, we're gonna toggle that to the left. Okay, is that better, y'all? Yeah, that's better. Is it? You're like, is it better for you, Jay? You want to know if it's better for me? I think that's better for now, but I can do either or. In fact, at night, I usually try to have that one on, right? I usually try to have that, because if you have the lighter in the back, again, for those that are on StreamMate, then you don't have to worry so much about having all your lights on. I mean, you can play with your lighting and your brightings, your light or bright settings from your laptop, Chromebook, phone, whatever it is that you're working from. I think you have that option. So moving forward, okay, pretty. How pretty do you have to be? You have to just be uniquely you. I'll go on to say this: the very thing that people compliment you on and or not compliment you on ought to be the thing that you make money off of in the webcam modeling industry. Why is that? Because what I discovered over the 16 years of being in this business, men are attracted to what they're attracted to, especially as it relates to fetishes. You don't know if you're someone's fetish or not. You don't know if you're someone's turn on, to make it plain English. You don't really know while you're out and about doing what it is that you're doing, living your best life, or hopefully your best life and not your worst life, right? Yet still there's somebody checking you out from afar, right? Somebody's looking. If you do social media, doesn't matter how many followers you got, there's going to be just that one person going, I like what I see. No matter what society, and I got to put emphasis here, no matter what society says that you're not, pay attention to you. I'll give you an example for me. Most people have told me throughout my years, and I'm 49 years old, that I'm pretty, right? But how? Where? What? Who? Me? No. A lot of people said that I am attractive, but what makes me attractive? When I ask men that come to my shows what makes me attractive, because the truth is this about pretty and beauty and this and that and this, that, and the other, I'm not the only one. You're not the only one. You're not the only unique and attractive and different person that's out there. 9 times out of 10, what a man tells me, because men are simple, but let's just say they get a little, some of them get a little deep, and I said, well, why do you choose me instead of the other girl? Now, obviously, for those that are into fetishes, it's going to be nails. I've heard lips. I've heard eyes. It's going to be the basic stuff, right? I even had one of my exes, mind you, more than a few of my exes tell me they like my nose. Your nose is so cute. It makes you who you are. And my nose throughout the years since childhood and up had always been, not now. Maybe I had to grow into it, I don't know, but had always been something I was teased about, made fun of. My nose comes from my father's side of the family. My mother has a very button nose, very small, freckles on her face. I mean, I have freckles too. My baby sister does as well. But I say all these things to say, the very thing that people used to majority would make fun of me for in elementary and junior high, my nose. Every blue moon, I would run across a guy that says, I like your nose. Your nose is cute. Your nose is this. Your nose is adorable. It's different. It fits you. It's your nose, you know? And I'd go, okay. The thing in life is that we tend to pay more attention to, you know where I'm going, more attention to what people say about us that they don't like versus the ones that say, no, I do. But I've come to realize, regardless to what people say, whether I'm cute, pretty, sexy, whatever compliments they give, I've tried to make sure and ensure that throughout the duration of my life is that I don't lean so much towards what they say about me, but really what I say about me. And you guys know I'm a believer, so who else? What does God say about me? And I believe we're all uniquely and beautifully made, right? I'm not trying to be cheesy about it. That's just really my stance and my core. Now, we got this thing called society and what's conventional beauty and what most would call pretty. And they got signs that says, well, round-faced people, and if things are symmetric and da-da-da-da-da, right? And they got these scales of pretty and these scales of whatever. Always know, no matter how pretty we think we are, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. So what I found out, what makes me attractive, because there's a difference between pretty, I think, and attractive, because we know you can be pretty and not be attractive, right? That part. So, or you could be not so pretty and still be attractive. That means that you're able to attract men, you're able to attract women, you're able to attract whatever it is that you're into, you're able to attract. And 9 times out of 10, what makes a person able to attract, which means to draw closer, there's going to be something about you that stands out. Usually what stands out is actually what's inside that stands out. It's usually not, oh my gosh, because there's many women who got beautiful bodies, big hips, big this, big that, voluptuous bodies, sexy bodies, you know, smaller waist, pretty faces. You know, there are many women who, in fact, if you go and you look at the webcam industry, because this is where we want to tie it all in here to just this industry alone, right? In other words, forget what the men say out in public that they're not into. Check their phones in the wee late night hours, right? And see what they're really into. And that's not to say that no matter, in other words, that's not to say that you are to be hidden or you're the thing that someone would be embarrassed by. Most men that actually like me and like my nails or like the way I look, it doesn't come from a place of embarrassment, is why their girlfriends or their wives or their people, they wouldn't know. It comes from a place of like, I don't want to have to explain, right? Men are simple. They don't want to have to explain to their wives, girlfriends or family why that turns them on. Because a lot of people, primarily a lot of men, they don't practice enough self-awareness to even know where it comes from. Especially when you're talking about fetishes, as I've talked about before. Fetishes usually, and I just want to go here for just a second, fetishes usually start off in childhood, right, way before puberty. And then later on in life, as we get older and we grow up, and then we go, oh my gosh, I remember I liked, in fact, I'll give you an example. I have a guy. He's my gum guy. I need to get onto his videos. But anyway, I had my guy come through. I hadn't spoke to him in years. We finally reconnected. And when I say my gum guy, he likes to hear me click gum, ASMR, right? When we first met, I asked him, what is it about the clicking gum that you like? And he went back and told me a story of how, I think it was his mother or his friend or somebody, mother's friend or somebody, used to braid his hair. And when she would braid his hair when he was a younger, I'll go there just for the sake of YouTube and staying, you know, mindful of audiences, right, you guys? When he was younger, they would braid his hair, and the woman that would braid his hair, it would be the clicking sound. So when you talk about ASMR, and I know this is not the topic of the conversation, but when you talk about ASMR, this was something that uniquely he liked. It relaxed him. As we talk about ASMR, right? It relaxes him. It makes him feel good. And so he then later on in life was like, it must have came to his conscience and said, wait a minute, if I can get a woman to click gum and that turns me on, and she's pretty, or I'm attracted to her and she clicks gum, and it's just his fantasy come to life. I am the fantasy girl for him to come to life. Now keep in mind, there are some people who like what they like and they don't care who they like it on. Can I say that again? There are some men who like what they like and they don't care who's wearing it, rocking it, whatever. So this goes back into the bucket of how then do you make money, right? Or not being so pretty, or not being so what society or what other people, what other men would call pretty. This goes into the place of being unique. If you're not pretty, you are unique. That's as simple. It's not even be unique, you are unique. If you're not what they call pretty, unique, be unique. And so when I think about me, some might say that I'm pretty, others might say that I'm unique and exotic. And so it's like you're pretty unique, basically. You're pretty unique, you're pretty exotic, you're you know. And so what you do, in my experience, you hone on to the thing that even those that have made fun of you about, and let that be your lead. Enhance it, but not enhance it in a way that it makes you quote unquote ugly, right? No such thing over here, but that it enhances it to draw people in, to make them curious. I'll give an example, and I hope I'm okay with this example when I say it. There are people that are disabled that are cam models, men that are intrigued, if not turned on. See, you got to know, are they being turned on by me, or they're paying because they're intrigued, right? And I fit in both categories. Some men are, I'm the first time ever they're seeing a woman with super long nails, and they're like, oh my God, I'll take you in a private because there's something about you that's intriguing. I never seen that before. I never noticed that before. Then you got people who are like, okay, I know what I like. I know I like nails and I like an attractive woman, so I'll take her in a private. Then you got those that are like, no, yeah, I'll find my long nail goddess somewhere else. Not because they're not attracted to me, but it's something else, or maybe, right? I can keep it a buck. I may not be. They may go, In fact, speaking of nails, a lot of men have asked me, why don't you let both of the nails grow on both hands? Well, that's just not my preference. That's not my style. Either you're going to like Jelena nails for how she presents herself, or you're going to be like, she's not. What's up with that, right? Trust me, throughout the 16 years, I've had many men say, I would, but why don't you don't have both of your hands like that? So guess what they do? They go over and they go to social media, because there's not too many natural long nail women in the adult entertainment of webcam modeling. They go over to somebody else on social media. They follow other folks and they get their rocks off. And some of those women know that those men are getting their rocks off and they're not getting paid. Some women don't mind getting paid in attention. Just attention alone. As for yours truly over here, I don't have an issue with getting paid for my exoticness. Let's go with, and I didn't want to go here, but this is what's coming to my mind. Let's go with the circus. Let's go with the freak show. Remember the circus, when back in the day they had the freak show and people would pay to see? I don't care, and I don't mind. I don't mind being a part of the circus. I'm already a part of it, right? We're all, as long as we're living on this planet, we're going to be a part of the circus, a circus, somebody's circus, okay? We are all either clowns or performing, or monkeys, or chimpanzees, or zebras, or elephants. We are jugglers. We're juggling life, you know what I'm saying? We're all doing something in this thing called the circus of life. Not the circle of life, but this circus of life, right? So, what do you want to be while we're in the circus of webcam modeling? You know, what animal are we? I'm just saying, what performer are you? You know, what part of you that the world may say is ugh? Because not everybody likes the nails. Not everybody likes the face. They go, I don't know, I don't know, you know? And people are still trying to figure you out. What am I really saying? There ought to be a confidence that you have behind whatever you look like, right? So how do you, to answer the question, get to the point, Jelena, how then do you make money, and maybe not so pretty, and maybe not conventionally pretty, and maybe not this, maybe not that, and still you show up confident, you show up with that unique thing, with an already knowing of your flaws. You got to already know what your flaws are and still go, okay. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed this or not, but I had to take, I had to take out my cheek piercing. because it got real ugly. It got real bad. It got real icky. Now I got the little scar there, and yes, I have keloid blood. I might later on have to take out this one, but to say the least, I'm still showing up. My face was swollen. I went through a lot. I've been through a lot this last 3 months, y'all. Physical changes. I'm premenopausal, right? I'm 49 years old, hormonal. Some days I'm, some days and I'm like, damn, I'm up and down with my weight. It's a lot. That's back up off that salt, which is a whole other topic. I'll come back later on and talk about you guys. There's a lot of things that let me just say this as a sidebar, I have wanted to come here and share with you guys as it relates to just going through the changes as a woman, right? As a cisgendered woman, but going through those changes and then how you still show up, how you show up after it. Me still learning makeup. That's my biggest thing. Me still learning makeup. Me learning what makes too much salt, too much caffeine. Dental work. Still going to the dentist, getting this dental work taken care of. There are places and spaces where I show up and I'm not confident. There are times where I'm just like, there are times where I tilt my camera down and the guys only see this part of me. Where back in the day, they would see my mouth because I was confident about my teeth and confident about my lips. In fact, I get a lot of compliments on my lips, but I don't zoom in as much as I used to. Why? Because those are the things where I'm super self-conscious about because I need work. Now, do some of the men care? No. They're just looking at the lips. Men don't be caring. They don't care. So I care. That matters to me. But that doesn't mean I don't show up. That means that I focus my stuff on something else. I either put emphasis on my flaw because I know the men are going to notice whatever that flaw is, or I'll work around those flaws and have other things enhanced. Let's just say I was cross-eyed. Let's just say I was, how do you cross your eye? Okay. Let's just say I was cross-eyed, right? And I've seen some webcam models that are cross-eyed, but there are men that have a thing for cross-eyed women. I'm talking about cock-eyed, cross-eyed, whatever, and still be considered as cute or adorable. There is, I don't want to call it this, y'all, but I want to call it this. Okay, and I got to come back and talk about it, but a thing called the pity fetish. There's a thing called the crying fetish. There's a lot that men, you would be surprised, that turns on people. And I don't think that men are just turned on sexually by certain things that are intriguing, unique, and different. I think this is also a place where some men are able to tap into their emotions. Another thing I'm going to come back and hopefully talk about is being neurodivergent, right? I think I touched on it before, and being neurodivergent in the webcam modeling industry, and the men, I think I touched on it as it relates to me being neurodivergent, but I also would want to talk about, what about the men who are into fetishes? Is it possible that people that are into fetishes are also neurodivergent? And I'm not talking about ADHD, I'm talking about where their brain registers information differently than the neurotypical brain. Total different topic. But as it relates to, because I think I'm the only one, as a sidebar, I think I'm the only woman I've ever known, ever met, that has a foot fetish. I love feet, period, but I really like a man with some really, really good feet. And so that kind of makes sense to me, that the way that that I'm into body parts, neurodivergent stuff, the little strange, But anywho, so as it relates to being pretty, and again, if I'm flowing with this thing, y'all, and it ain't posh, just say welcome back, Jay. It's been a minute, right? But I say all that to say it is so important to make sure that I just looked at my room topic. Wait. And I'm not going to touch it. Let me just leave that alone. Anyway, to make sure and ensure that whatever unique face you have, that know that there is a man going, oh my gosh, you are beautiful. I've heard people say gorgeous. There are even some, and I'm being honest, maybe this sounds jacked up to say, I've seen some men absolutely get turned on and like the woman that most would say is nowhere near attractive, right? But because something about, I don't know, have you ever heard the term, and y'all don't judge me too harshly when I say this, there's some places where a woman can be too pretty, yet there's no such thing as too ugly. Does that make sense? Where, again, when you get over into people looking, quote unquote, the U word, ugly, and I'm using this to be extreme here for a second, you will find that those people that most people would call that, at least I would say this, y'all, you can look at them and go, no, I don't see UGLY. I see unique. I see different. I see, think about all the models, like the high-end models. They're not necessarily pretty. Grace Jones is a key factor. There's so many models. Come on, y'all. Cam models. There's so many models that you wouldn't look at them and go, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. The high-end modeling industry is not looking for really pretty and gorgeous, right? If you notice, I mean, at least don't look like that's what they're looking for. But commercial modeling, yes, an attractive face, when you get to doing commercials. But high-end walkway, runway modeling, they are usually not like, oh my God, they're just beautiful. Another person, and I'm gonna just bring this up here, who I think is not pretty at all, but she did her thing, and it's probably because how unique her forehead is or her face, is Tyra Banks. She does not, who am I to judge? I'm just saying she wouldn't be somebody but that's just my eyeballs looking at her. She doesn't come across as pretty. Megan Good is pretty, and pretty, but Megan Good is more so sexy to me than she is actually pretty. She's pretty too, but she just exudes sex appeal. Nia Long is pretty, but she's also very sexy. Did you see Nia Long's stance and that gap between the legs, and it looks like she's slightly bow-legged? I mean, I don't know, and I'm not even into women, if I'm being honest. I mean, I'm just not. But I could look at a woman and go, I could see how I could see how if I had, okay, I see you, you see you, we all see you, right? And usually that comes from a sensual, sexual energy that a woman gives off that's more so than pretty, because pretty will fade. Another person that is my number one spirit animal on the planet, may she rest in peace, not considered pretty by anybody looking at this woman will say she's not really pretty, but oh baby, the men she attracted, Miss, the one and only, y'all know what I'm about to say, Miss Eartha Kitt, my spirit animal. I embody that. I want to embody that woman so bad, right? Because she exuded just sexual energy. She is that to me, Miss Eartha Kitt, right? But again, pretty, we wouldn't say pretty like model, cutesy pretty, just so eroticism, exotic, you know what I mean? Cute. She's even cute and erotic, right? Animalistic nature. She's vibrant. And guess what she did? She played off of that. She was Catwoman, right? She took it and ran with it, right? Whereas if she had not been Eartha Kitt, so to speak, she would have just, she was far from regular, so she still would have been unique, but she took how very unique she was, and voila, her voice, her music, her songs, one of my favorite songs from Eartha Kitt, just saying, is I Want to Be Evil. Oh man, if you haven't heard it, you got to listen to it, y'all. And so I say all that to say her. Now when you think about Dorothy Dandridge, pretty, but I never, Dorothy Dandridge seemed like she had to work at her sexy. Does that make sense, y'all? It seemed like she had to kind of work at her sexy. It didn't really feel, for me, she never felt, even in Karma, I think it's Carmen, yeah, she didn't really, I think that was practiced and performance, right? But there's a place about Dorothy Dandridge where I sense innocence and youthful and playfulness, yes, but not over the top. And she was pretty, but that really cutesy pretty. You get what I'm saying? But again, if you compare Dorothy Dandridge to Eartha Kitt, just for the sake of face, right? You get Eartha Kitt, who embodied it, embraced it. Grace Jones embodies it, embraces it. Again, these are not women that you would call pretty. I'll use Beyoncé for example. Beyoncé, in my opinion, she's an attractive girl, a pretty girl, yes, in the category of pretty girls, but as it relates to her embodying, she said, she had to tap into Sasha Fierce. She's not really over the top sexy as much as it is. That's what she had to be trained in, right? And performed in, and all these things. But sex appeal, Beyonce doesn't give me sex appeal. She's creative, yes, and she's a performer and all those things. But sex appeal, no. Example, but she has a very pretty girl face, her body, right? Typical pretty girl, if you will. Nice body, seemingly nice skin. Just almost want to say regular, if you will, regular, right? And it's the money and the performance and all these things that she's a country girl in that respect, right? But that makes her who she is. Out of Destiny's Child, right? Who was the most sexier one to me is a cross between Kelly Rowland and Michelle, right? And so I want to say Michelle, her voice, that little raspiness that she has there. I mean, we could go down the list, right? But as it relates to being pretty, she's very unique. So a lot of times, what's my point, y'all? What men are looking for, in my experience, they're not just looking for the pretty girl. Some men, yeah, on the surface. But by the time they get to looking at a webcam model, trust me, you're not the girl next door. You can play that role. But what men are looking for is the thing that stimulates them. That stimulates them. Men are bored. Men always looking for something to get into, literally. So they are looking for the woman and or man or whatever they're into that stimulates them, that excites them, that mirrors back to them, that feeds their ego, right? That feeds their manhood, that they haven't lost it, that they still got it. Ooh, if I'm talking to her, let's just say it's a girl that is out of his league or whatever. I think I said that right. And he's talking to her, then he's going to feel, oh my God, she's actually talking to me. So you got those guys that'll come over and talk to a pretty girl because in their real life they don't they're surrounded by pretty women or attractive women, let alone women that are willing to give them the goodies, right? Unless they go down on the blade somewhere. You guys know what I'm talking about. But let's just say your average guy, right? Average guy, not even looking for a fetish, really, not looking for nothing too way over the top, but that guy, he will come on and see you because if there's something about you that's intriguing, he will pay. He will become curious about who you are, what you have to offer him, that whole is it worth it? If you stand on your confidence of how unique you show up, how different you are from every other girl that he done clicked on by the time you get there, then he will be like, oh, this one's different. So there's something where you have to be able to captivate. And the thing about a quote unquote ugly girl, let's just call it ugly privilege for a second. The ugly girl captivates. The ugly girl draws attention. The ugly girl, and when I'm using the word ugly, y'all, because this is not how I think. I just want to be clear about that. I'm just using how society, just how shallow society is, not in my heart of heart. Y'all should know that by now, right? I didn't have to say that, but I felt like I had to, because I'm like, I don't believe no one's ugly. I mean, I'm standing firm on that. But for the sake of this conversation, ugly versus pretty, the ugly girl has more potential, even, I think, because a lot of women think that, or the not so pretty girl, because a lot of women think they can it's just this face. It's just this face. But then there are men that like conversation. There are men that even come see women like us and don't really want to feel like a trick. They really want a conversation. So if you're not the pretty girl, what should you do? If you're not so much the conventionally pretty girl, what society says, then you have to take whatever it is that you got in your face card, whatever it is in your body card, not just your body though. Oh, I put emphasis here, y'all. Not just your body. I mean, any other cam teacher would probably say, then use your feet, then use your boobs, and show off your hands, and show off everything else but your face. No, show your face still. As unique and different or strange or bizarre, because if everything else is flowing, your face is flowing, if you're flowing in confidence, going back to that, then you are going to captivate. You're going to bring forth, trust me, I'm telling you what I know, you're going to bring forth, I'll give you this is a good example. I don't care how pretty a girl is, I don't care how funny looking she is, let a woman be at her worst. Anybody know that when you're at your worst is that when sometimes you get the most attention? And it's not necessarily, I would imagine, it's not even necessarily because you're more confident. I'm going to go here for a minute. It is because you're not tripping. You just minding your business. You just came to the store to go get you some bread. you ran out of creamer in my case. You're in Target just doing your Target thing. You're getting you a little maybe Starbucks or whatever. You're not really paid. You're not in the mode of centering men, especially if you're a webcam model. When we log off of this thing and we go on about our daily week, the last thing we're thinking about, at least me, is attracting a guy, because I just dealt with men for 3 hours straight through. You get me? But it'll be those moments when you, me, us are out and about not caring, is when all of a sudden, hey beautiful, huh? Hey sexy, maybe, or just even a smile and a nod of an acknowledgement, right? And you're like, huh? Wait, what? Because you are in the spirit of I don't give a damnness. You're being just you. And I think that's what I really want to drive home here. When you're just being you, no matter how much people have said you don't look a certain way, or you say you don't look a certain way, I can promise you this, and I'm out of here, y'all. Like my Nana said, and I'll continue to say it as long as I live, because it's a saying that's been since the beginning of time, I suppose. There is somebody for everybody. And in the case of webcam modeling, there is somebody's, okay? More than one for you. I really hope I really drove that home, that and I'm not just trying to, I don't want to use, the word patronize. I'm not trying to just make it sound good. The more unique you are in this business, the more people will stop by and take a good look-see, right? The only thing I would say, not with your body, that you can promote the more so, if you don't feel like you're really all that pretty, if you don't feel that you are, if you don't feel that you're all that attractive, the best thing you can do is then now utilize your voice, right? Because like I just said with Eartha Kitt, her voice makes her over the top. It exudes her face. Her voice has gotten her. It's been that woman's voice. Voiceovers. I like her in what's it called? The Emperor's New Groove. I love her in that. In fact, that is on my Disney. That is my what's her name? Edma. Isma. That is my profile picture. So I'm telling you, y'all, I adore Eartha Kitt. I really, 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 really do. In fact, I have so many things in my Amazon basket that I don't have up for her. Oh, and before I get out of here, you guys, today's perfume of the day is by Guess. I got this last year. It's Guess Red, and I got it last year for Christmas. And remember, as a webcam model, know the guys, I've said it for years, know the men can't smell you, but you can smell you, and this makes you feel pretty. And what I like about this smell is that it's soft. It's soft but strong, but it's soft but exotic. I was gonna say strong, but that's not the word. It's soft but like exotic, and it's hard to find a real soft. It almost smells like sugar. That's how soft it is. It smells like sugar. If that makes, and sometimes sugar is funky. If you ever wet sugar and just let sugar set, anybody, and you open up your little sugar container and you smell it, it don't really smell. But this smells like cotton candy sugar, but with a hint of like I don't want to say funk, but a hint. It's exotic, but it's very soft, right? So I like it. So yeah, I hope this helped you guys with getting an understanding of, pretty. Hell, my grandmother, I promise I'm done, this is what I put on the back of my business cards. My grandmother had a saying that said this: pretty is pretty does. Pretty is pretty does. So, but again, take that unique, different face that you have, the one that they say, oh, you're not really that pretty, the one that you say that you're not really pretty, and show up to cam anyway, and show up with confidence, and let them come through, and let them look, and let them pause. Now, there are many times men have come through my broadcast, they jump in and jump out. They say men are simple, but they're also wishy-washy. One day they like it, the next day they don't. They see something new, they go, don't take it personal. That's for me right there. Don't take it personal, right? In fact, let me go ahead and just log in right quick. Let's just see. Don't take it personal. Don't take it personal, y'all. Let's begin my scan, and I'm going to be out of here. Okay, they're verifying who I am. Scan complete. Let's take my picture. Yes, you guys, that was my Christmas tree, but my apartment is a little bit whimsical, so yeah. Anywho, let's take that picture. Boom, got it. Right on. And let's go ahead and select. And we'll see what we get. Okay. But yeah, so today's a good day, y'all. It's Tuesday, man. I'm glad to be back. I'm gonna go ahead and mute my mic. But while we sit here, pretty as pretty does. Remember that. You know, let your pretty show up. You know, and God made no mistakes, man. That part, right? God made no mistakes. You are who you are, and that is the thing that is going to be, that's going to draw them to you. I promise you. You know, when you just show up and you just, you know, not be desperate either. You know, because sometimes us women, when we don't feel like we are the prettiest or the thinnest or the smartest or whatever it is, we tend to give a desperate energy. You know, I just have to say that we give off an energy that says, pay attention to me, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, you know, look at me, I matter, look at me. And it's important that you know that you don't have to get everybody to like you, especially in this business. You don't even got to have all the men, just a few. Just a few can make your day. Just one can make your day. You can get one private session, one exclusive session to draw him to you, and he become, maybe not forever, but sometime to come. Because why? You were that face and that energy, because that matters too. You were that face and that energy he's been searching for a while. That means when he goes and looks at all the other women, right, in the lineup, he's like, next. He swipe left, kind of like the dating apps, right? And swipe left, and then now he's going, but I think I like that, right? I think I like that. And no, mama's boy, I don't. Hello. Can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear me or not. Hi, Brian. Can you guys hear me? Probably can't because of my feed. I don't think they can hear me. Let me type it down here because I changed my mic settings. Can you hear me calling? Can you hear me? I'm really over here with this screen record. I've been here for a minute. Can you hear me? Oh, and my salmon's, gotta get my salmon, you guys. And it looks like I froze. I'm gonna go get my salmon, you guys, because I got salmon in the oven and I don't want it to be all chewy, stiff. I mean, man, I want my salmon to be pretty. I do want pretty salmon. I swear, I want it to taste pretty. I want it to look pretty. I want it to look pretty on my white plates. I want it to look presentable. Okay, so that's what all really pretty is. It's presentable. If you're just presentable, I promise you, I have a saying that said when I'm logged into work, I often say the right one will come along. Because no matter what you look like, period, the right one will come along. What is that about? That's about belief system. What do you really believe you can accomplish? What do you really believe, right? What do you really want? Talk about laws of attraction, right? What do you really want? How many guys do you want to show up in your show today? What do you want? Write it down. Do an audio. Go to ChatGPT. Make a list. You know, I want them to tell me I'm beautiful. I want them to tell me pretty. Not because you're dependent on it, but because that would feel. It sound. Even when guys are like, "Hey, you know, you're pretty," or "you're." I can't stand when men call me gorgeous. I'm like, sir, that's a bit much. I don't even think people know what gorgeous really is. But then beauty is the eye of the beholder. I'm not that. And that doesn't mean I have low self-esteem, y'all, by the way. That just means gorgeous is gorgeous. Back in the day, gorgeous meant gorgeous. Now it's just slanging out there. Like, men don't have nothing else. Men are just not creative, man. They're just not. Call me what I am. Exotica worship. I'm exotic. Pretty. That doesn't even mean I'm pretty. That just means I'm exotic. It don't mean I'm pretty. It don't mean I'm ugly. It don't mean I'm in between. It just means that I'm exotic. Hell, exotica worship is the name I gave me. Right? I didn't let nobody else choose it. Jelena Nels is one too, because Jelena comes from Angelina Jolie. She's one of my favorite actresses. Angelina is another one that I wouldn't call pretty, but she's very exotic. right? Very sex appeal, right? All that going on. So Angelina is, oh, that's the point I was making. Angelina. So I took off the A-N and then I'm just Jelena Nails. That's where that comes from. Just FYI. Anyways, you guys, bye for now. One love, kisses. You guys will hear me, see me in the next one. Oh, my sound is still on. So guys, if you're listening, hi, because I know there's always some one of y'all just staring and a looking and a staring. But anyways, I am Jelena Nails. Okay. I don't even got to turn off the sound for that. So if you guys want to show, since y'all here, I know it's always somebody looking and lurking. If any of you guys are here, make sure that you come stop by and see me. Also know that I do custom videos as well. I want to get back into doing that. But for now, and I'm out of here. We'll love kisses. You guys will hear me or see me in the next one. Bye for now. Now to the fellas, I'm just going to pause my show. Right, I'm gonna pause it for 10 minutes, check on my sound man. And to you guys, one love kisses. You guys will hear me and see me in the next one. Bye for now, and I hope this was helpful to you, April. Enjoy your Tuesday.